Do you know that legendary players like Cristiano Ronaldo in football, Sachin Tendulkar in cricket, or Michael Jordan in basketball have one thing in common? They all follow the right values and principles. Now, here's something to think about. You also live your life based on some values and principles, right? But why aren't you able to become great in your field, just like these players? The reason is that the values and principles you follow aren't really yours. Instead, they were unknowingly installed in your mind by your parents, friends, and society since childhood. These useless values and principles are the reason behind your average life. But great people understand how life works. Their values align with life's principles, which is why they achieve whatever they desire. Now, you might be wondering, what are those life principles that can make anyone successful in their field? In this video, we'll explore the book How Life Works by Andrew Matthews and learn how life really functions. You'll also discover 7 life principles that can make you unstoppable. Out of these 7, the 2nd, 5th, and 7th principles are particularly crucial, and you simply can't afford to miss them. In fact, the 7th principle will break one of the biggest myths you believe in. At the end of the video, we'll also uncover the one common factor in all these principles, without which they are like tea without water. So, let's dive into the 7 life principles one by one. Life Principle 1. Let life play its game. Chanakya example. There are 2 types of people in the world. Those controlled by others. Those who take control of their lives and live it on their own terms. People from the first category often fail, and even those from the second category sometimes face failure. For example, Chanakya, the great strategist, also failed once. After defeating Alexander, Chanakya and his student Chandragupta Maurya launched a well-planned attack on Magadha, present-day Patna. But they were defeated. Despite being powerful, Chanakya forgot the life principle. You can't fully control life. The Quran also says, "Do your best. Allah will give you more than your thoughts." Author Andrew Matthews highlights this principle with an example of a man named Jack. Jack, an engineer, needed to find a new room urgently. Despite his efforts, he couldn't find one. Eventually, he stopped stressing and detached himself from the situation. A few days later, 3 vacant apartments appeared nearby, and he shifted just before the month ended. The takeaway? Put in the right effort and leave the outcome to life. Life will assist you, just as it did for Jack. Life Principle 2. Resistance is the enemy. Acceptance is the friend. Biggest problem with today's youth. As a child, you stepped out of your comfort zone to go to school and later to attend college or work in a new city. But the real problem begins when you become too comfortable in your job. You depend entirely on it, and when life demands change, you resist it. This resistance goes against the principle. Change is constant. With this mindset, personal and professional growth slows down. In contrast, people who embrace change experience exponential growth, 5x or even 10x. The author shares the story of Layla to emphasize this principle. Layla needed to fly from Texas to Hong Kong with a stopover in Doha. At the airport, her flight to Doha got canceled. Frustrated, she blamed the airline. In the chaos, she even lost her purse. However, after calming down and accepting the situation, Layla met an old friend who found her purse and helped her book a direct flight to Hong Kong. This shows that resistance locks success, while acceptance unlocks it. Always choose the key of acceptance over the lock of resistance. Life Principle 3. Focus on the positive, the power of focus. Where focus goes, energy flows, and the results show. Your focus determines what you attract in life. A negative person sees the empty part of a half-filled glass, while a positive person focuses on the filled part. Similarly, A negative person always finds flaws in others, while a positive person sees strengths. The author illustrates this with the example of Trent and Jane. Trent, a negative person, lost his job, exhausted his savings, and met with a car accident that left him hospitalized for a month. In contrast, Jane, a positive person, searched for a life partner for 5 years, but didn't get frustrated. She trusted life, and soon she met great prospects and found her ideal partner. When you adopt a positive attitude, opportunities come to you without chasing them. Just do your part and let life take care of the rest. Principle number 4. You must have heard about the law of attraction, but do you know how it works? First, thoughts come into our minds, and then they mix with our emotions. This mix creates our feelings, which send signals to the universe. The universe then brings similar vibrations of people or situations into our lives. This means that when our feelings are depressing, the universe attracts negative people and situations into our lives. To illustrate this principle, let's look at the example of Maria. One day, Maria's day started off badly. When she reached the airport, she faced issues with her luggage check. Before passing through the security line, she had to throw away a lot of her belongings. She encountered more difficulties during ticket checking. Moreover, the bag she brought onto the plane had no space in the compartment, so she had to hold it on her lap throughout the journey. Inside, Maria was feeling negative due to these incidents. After landing at the airport, a man accidentally spilled a cup of coffee on Maria's new dress, breaking her patience. She shouted, "Why does bad stuff always happen to me?" The reason behind all the unfortunate events happening one after another was her negative feelings attracting bad situations and people into her life. So the question is, how can we feel positive? Basically, you need to mix positive emotions like love and kindness with your thoughts to feel positive. And if by chance your thoughts mix with negative emotions, then don't react. Just respond calmly. In this way, you can transform negative feelings into general goals. Life Principle 5, How to Achieve Goals. Setting strictly specific goals is very important because it helps you avoid stress. Every year, millions of students work hard to get into IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, and some of those who miss out even commit suicide. A major reason behind this is that these students don't have a plan. This isn't just about these students. Most of us make this mistake somewhere along the line. Having specific goals isn't bad, but having an attitude of, "I want it exactly this way, not an inch less or more," can be dangerous and can lead to depression. The solution is to set goals within a range. For example, one of the authors had a specific goal to own a red Lamborghini. A year later, Carly achieved her goal by buying a black Lamborghini. Now Carly goes to work feeling happier and more relaxed in her car. For your happiness, it's essential to set general goals and expect better things from life. Life Principle 6. The Power of Habits. Einstein once said that doing the same thing and expecting new outcomes is foolish. Similarly, Newton's first law states that an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Just like Newton's first law, life will not give you new results unless you make new efforts or take new actions. Let's see the story of Jamie and Alex. Jamie's problem was that no matter what she did, she was always late for work, even though she woke up early. Sometimes she got stuck in traffic, and other times she was delayed taking care of her sick dad. Likewise, Alex could never save money, and sometimes his income would run out before the end of the month, forcing him to struggle for basic needs. The reason for the bad situations for Alex and Jamie was their bad habits. They repeated these bad habits every day, which caused life to yield the same results for them. If you've developed bad habits too, change them, and your results will change. Life Principle 7. Purpose of Life. The purpose of life is not success, but happiness. This principle busts the myth that we've been taught since childhood. Work hard in school and college to achieve success in your job. We actually work hard and set one goal after another, achieving them. And after many years of hard work like Robert, we attain wealth and power but still lack happiness. The truth is that while money and power can lead to success, they don't necessarily bring happiness. The purpose of life is to achieve happiness. Even if success gives you feelings of happiness, that happiness is temporary. However, when you are happy, success comes looking for you. This is because happiness means good feelings, and due to the law of attraction, you attract good people and situations into your life, which ultimately makes you successful. So it's proven that permanent success comes from happiness, and the purpose of life is happiness, not success. Success is a byproduct. From these 7 life principles, you've learned how life works and what you should do so that life doesn't kick you but embraces you. Finally, you may have noticed that life supports those who put in the effort, and then the results are left to life.